Pink Glue episode 130, October 1st. Does Amazon cannibalize its own partners? Now, if you take an opportunity to look behind the logo here, sometimes I'll put images behind it and sometimes I'll leave it white to stand out. But in this case, there's some images of some Amazon boxes. And the reason I'm questioning this today is in order to set up a podcast and to have the microphones and everything, I had to order some additional plugs and equipment. And I'm very cautious to choose local stores as much as I can. That hasn't quite been the opportunity during COVID for a number of reasons. Many have not been open, as we know, but those that have opened have had challenges with stocking, especially from particular tech items that I've been needing. And so I'll go on to my other more local businesses that serve the community. And unfortunately, they did not have these particular items either. So now I go to what I consider the last resort, but at least it comes quickly and it works, and it's not a bad option as far as a consumer, but it's not really supporting who we are and our community looking forward. So just from a notion of understanding and respecting our community, those are the choices that I usually go through my decision process. But then once I do get to the Amazon platform, I'm very careful to scroll through and not necessarily choose Amazon Basics. In fact, if I see it, I'll go to another vendor so that I'm at least supporting the small businesses on that site. Now, some of them I know are not that small, but I want to make sure that I'm supporting businesses on the site. And again, a number of reasons, and I will go into the main one in just a minute. But again, the image in the background here is of 4 different Amazon products that I received. All 4 actually had the Amazon Basics label on it. So these are Amazon Basics products. Now, what is important is I don't order Amazon Basics. So this means Amazon is now using other accounts, not naming it or calling it specifically Amazon Basics. So even fooling the consumer, making it look like I'm supporting a partner on their site, but just using their web house for shipping is usually how it's chosen there. And yet it then comes directly from Amazon Basics. Now, why is this important? So let's see if we can look at this real fast. So 2020 particularly, this was August 11th, this is April 14th. This headlines were thousands of small businesses going bankrupt in the US. 7.5 million small businesses are at risk of closing. And so as we look at the news, it's quite easy to understand why businesses would be closing when they haven't been allowed to open. But what's even more concerning, this came up, AmazonSellersLawyer.com, Rosenbaum Famularo, and what this says is Amazon Basics cuts private label brands out of the equation. The term Amazon Basics may be unknown to the general public right now, but it is certainly one that should become familiar in the near future. Amazon Basics is one of the Amazon.com's own private label brands. This product line is the result of Amazon's monstrous research and development budget, which allows them to track the top-selling products on their own platform from private label brands, again, on their own platform. These are partners who have agreed to work with Amazon to support the Amazon name by selling their products through Amazon. Now they are using those numbers to create their own versions of the same products at a much lower price. So now they're undercutting their own partners who have their own private labels on their own platform. Amazon Basics was launched back in 2009. Since then, it has slowly developed its own line of Amazon-branded consumer electronics and technology products. Amazon has spent years researching private label sellers, and now they're capitalizing on their success with clever tricks like this. The lower prices are obviously more appealing to consumers. Individual sellers can't compete, and Amazon Basics is leaving successful private label brands in the dust. One of the major examples of private label brand that has felt the impact of Amazon Basics is a laptop stand created by the private label brand called Rain Design. The aluminum laptop stand has excellent reviews across the board and is priced at a moderate $43. Recently, Amazon Basics released an unmistakable imitation of Rain Design's successful product, and their version is only $20. They're undercutting by $23. With the Amazon customer satisfaction guarantee and the same product at about half the price, the choice is a no-brainer for consumers. So they've posted here the M-Stand laptop design at $42.95, and you can see there's circles there, and this one has some rectangles, and this one has a raindrop, and that has the Amazon smile. But essentially, yep, it sure looks like a similar concept to me. And then it's the Amazon Basic laptop stand in silver for 20 bucks. So Amazon Basics chooses its products carefully based upon the data generated from tracking other sellers over the years. It's a known fact that most of Amazon's annual budget goes to R&D, which has been flouted as committed to innovation in the past. But now it's clear that the e-commerce giant is using this data to boost sales of their own. So what can private label brands do to protect themselves? The answer is unclear, but one fact is clear, is that any individual seller's success on Amazon is no secret. Amazon tracks all the data. They don't only track your data as a consumer, they track your data as a partner. So Amazon has been promoting its own products at the bottom of competitors' listing. So this was October of 2018. So we're looking at 2 years ago. That let's see if there's an image of it here. So here's their image. If the partner goes ahead and posts a sale, then at the bottom it'll say similar from our brand. So right there on their own listing, the partner has paid to put the item on the site, pays when the item is sold, it pays for a premium spot. So for instance, if they want theirs to come up on the first page of the search or higher up in the search, they pay for that. And yet Amazon just politely puts their own tag right there that, oh, by the way, we'll sell it cheaper, undermining their own partners who have made them a success. So let's read this just a minute. This is by Eugene Kim. This is CNBC Markets. And again, this was 2 years ago that this was reported. The new feature shows links to Amazon's own private label brands inside rival listings. Amazon is aggressively pushing for the growth of its private label brands, which is estimated to generate $7 billion in sales this year. And again, this was 2 years ago. Its tactics raise questions around how Amazon uses its marketplace data to potentially gain an unfair advantage over the sellers. Now, even if it doesn't use the data to gain an unfair advantage, let's just say that Amazon is not a technology company. Let's just say it's a marketplace. And what they just they realize that wait a minute, people like this, I'm going to go ahead and make my own and put my own branding on it. And because I'm so massive, I'll sell it for a little bit less. Well, there's some integrity issues there. And we saw that certainly in the world of booksellers, they stood up to Amazon undercutting the price. But then we take this one step further. So then, because Amazon is a tech company, they do have all the data. They have the warehouses. They know what's shipped, what's stale, what stays in their warehouses and doesn't get moved. They also know the percentage and the margins. They in every different direction, they're controlling the price, and they're driving partners to charge higher and higher prices so that Amazon itself can get a bigger and bigger cut. So they're driving prices in one direction while they're creating a private label on their own that they don't have the overhead and the surcharges that they're charging to their partners. And the other level is they are actually taking their data based on the successful selling of their partners and now choosing, hand selecting which items that they will sell under their private label because they're more successful, right? And they can get a big margin. So they're directly this is monopoly, antitrust, you name it. We can go right on down the list of what's occurring here. But again, as I mentioned, at the start of this, the background picture here is my picture. I ordered 4 items. Not one of the items states it's Amazon Basics. Not one, even looking back at it, gave me any indication that I was I was ordering the private label brand from Amazon, they all have what looks like to me to be partner names. And I don't want to go through the names or go through that, which is why I didn't do a screenshot. But the bottom line, it doesn't say to choose from Amazon Basics. Each partner comes up with some kind of a partner account or travel account or their corporate Amazon link. And the link that Amazon Basics has now decided to use is so deceiving that it looks like they've just come up with different partner organization names in order to have you click through thinking that you're supporting partners rather than Amazon direct. So here we go. This was July of 2017, so a little over well, this is about 2.5 years ago. Amazon's private label brands, the complete list. So then they give you an overview here. It's been rumored that Amazon will launch another yet to be named private label brand later this year, one that will focus on athletic wear and yoga clothing. This has not been confirmed by Amazon at that point, but the point is they're moving into clothing, electronics, everything, every different direction. And so if we go back to this conversation here, Amazon Basics cuts private label brands out of the equation. It's actually adding to what we're seeing in the United States, a closure of businesses, small business, and even businesses who have already shuttered their local boutique shop, and or even some of the smaller box stores that have shut multiple locations and forced to go online. And about the only place that is viable to go for online sales has been Amazon. And yet Amazon now is taking the IP essentially and creating new products and selling them as their own. This is going to be interesting as we find out more about that, and good luck to all the partners who have dedicated their businesses to being a success and helping Amazon grow. And as I state, is Amazon cannibalizing its partners? This was episode 130, October 1st, Pink Glue.